Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I want to talk about the guitar of Charley Patton today, and I'm going to use his song Down the Dirt Road Blues as kind of an example of some of the things that he would play in this style, especially in the key of C, which we're going to be working in. A lot of licks that he uses in this song you can find in some of his other material and things like that. But just a caveat before we get started, in my opinion, Charley Patton is probably the greatest acoustic guitar player of all time, if not the greatest guitar player, period. So I'm going to do my best. And he had a real quirky sense of rhythm and timing, and super syncopated, and his right hand was just incredible, one of the best ever. So I'm going to do my best to show you the song and break it down for you, and hopefully you can kind of pick apart what's going on and maybe come up with some of your own ideas based on this. So here we go. Down the Dirt Road Blues in the key of C. Okay, so that's the idea anyway. So let's start off with one of his kind of signature bass patterns that he plays, especially in the key of C. Now, one thing that he seemed to do more than a lot of other Delta bluesmen or Piedmont style players at the time was, I mean, while a lot of people were using their thumbs and fingers and playing alternate bass lines like that, the way he would syncopate that and use a really heavy thumb and snap these bass lines was something that just nobody else was doing at the time, and really few people have been able to pull off since. So when you're playing a C shape like this, and you're basically alternating back and forth between the 1 and the 5, the C and the G, for that alternating bass pattern, he picks it like this. Really snapping those bass lines, and that takes some, you know, practice to get right and get used to, but you really got to lay into it with confidence and grab those strings. And the bass line that seems to be recurring most often in this song is so he kind of jumps from that 1 to the 5 like that, and then right back to the 1 with no other notes in between. It just gives that really heavy syncopation. So he'll do that on the 1. Then when you go to the 4, he's basically just sliding that C shape up to where you would normally maybe play an F7 up here. But he leaves that G string open. And then down 2 frets. So it sounds funky, but there's really not too much going on there because you don't really even need to change the grip from the C chord. And again, when he's really grabbing those bass notes. So it's a real heavy, like I said, heavy syncopation. I guess I don't know how else to describe it. Okay, then when he goes to the 5 chord, it's a G. Just sounds like he's playing an open G, and then G7. And then that kind of descending lick that he uses at the end of the verse is, again, it's almost like, sounds like double time to me almost. So the 4th fret on the B string, kind of bend that up and then hit the open E underneath it. And then the C note on the 1st fret on the B string, and then an open E underneath it too. And then this A at the 2nd fret on the G string, and the open B string underneath it. Then that's just the open B and G strings. Then you're back to your C chord. This is a pretty common line in this style, and he uses it a lot. But the timing that he used for it, playing in that double time like that, is just what really makes it special. So, okay, so that takes us through a whole verse there. At the beginning of each verse, he kind of plays the melody line as he sings over it. And that's real simple. That's just, he's playing the C note on the high E string, then B flat, but what makes it so, magical, when he does it at least, is what's going on with his right hand. To me, he's playing almost like and he was part Native American, so it makes sense. He was almost playing like a Native American kind of rhythm with his right hand if you listen to it, the original recordings. But what's going on is he's just playing that one note, but he's muting all the other strings with, if you play that note, that C with your ring finger, you can just mute all the other strings with your middle finger. Let me try it again. So that's just a C chord. 2 notes of the C chord there on the 3rd fret of the E string and the 4th fret of the B string. Just walking down the C major scale on the G string. Open G. Anyway, that's the way I hear it. So hopefully that makes sense and kind of can demystify some of that you've heard before. Again, if you haven't listened to a lot of Charley Patton, check it out. The recordings are obviously from the 30s, so they're the 1930s. So they're not the easiest thing to listen to, but it's pure. The guy's pure magic. So, and there hasn't been anybody like him that I've ever heard. So check it out. Hopefully that gives you some good ideas to use in your own music. And thanks again for watching.